All right, so it looks like we actually got our long exit for AMD. So we go into our account, we see that we've recovered a little bit. And we can actually go into our AMD call and we see that we turned our 84% loss into a 54% loss. So we recovered a little bit from that loss. Again, we should have never been in that position because we would have just sold at a 50% loss. But I wanted to see where the signal would take us. So we put in our little limit here and we'll sell out. And it's funny, let's actually look at the entry for AMD. So we see on the 17th, it told us to enter at 73.43. And on the 23rd, it told us to exit at 76.49. So the signal was actually profitable. It just didn't give us the best entry point. So if we actually look, we can maybe see if it would have been profitable had we bought a later expiration. So we go into December 2nd. We can create a watch list position, and we can actually see if we go back to our indicator, we can see on the 17th when this was triggered, we can actually go back to around that time and we can see that that would have been worth probably around 120. And sure enough, right now it's worth about 150. So we would have been in profit quite a bit. So for that one, we might have just been in a better position had we bought a later expiration. With BA, there's no salvation. That one is not doing too well, but watch. We might just sell into profit with this one as well and might just have gotten a poor entry. All right, folks, here we are a little bit later. We can see that we sold out of our AMD call. We see that our SPY call is crushing it at an 80% gain right now. And BA is still doing its thing, being a loss. We see here we've got our buying power. Since we're in a cash account, we don't get all our full funds. We just get the funds that have settled. And we see with our BA, we'd have to go all the way up to 180 from 172.5 just to get back to break even. Very unlikely at this point, so we have to accept the reality. So if we go back to the signal here, we can see that we have surpassed our time of 5.5 days because this was triggered on the 16th, and here we are now on the 23rd. Like I said, it happens because this is an average, right? So obviously we have to have some days that are above, some days that are below. We go to SPY. And definitely like how this is looking. We still haven't gotten our sell signal. But we do believe that it's going to go up $8 in total. And so I'm going to keep that in mind. I'm going to especially eye this 411 price. So if it goes up another $3, then I could look to double what I currently have. And hopefully our sell signal will generate around then. So if we look back to our performance on the 18th, we're starting to recover a little bit, head back in the right direction. What really killed us was this BA call where we lost $183. I mean, that just crushed us. In fact, we would be way above our highest point had we not taken that huge of a loss. Had we only taken like $50 of a loss there, we would have been in profit for this week. So the BA call really crushed us, guys. Yeah, we see our peak was 1,210. So we're quite a ways away from our high, but maybe off the strength of this SPY call, maybe we can find our way back, especially if we hit the target that we expect. So actually, if we look at BA, we see it's starting to hit its stride a little bit. But I'm just going to go ahead and sell because, again, I don't think that we're going to make our way back. We don't have much time left on this. And I'm going to go ahead and just add it to our wash sale list because we're not going to be trading this within the next 30 days, so we don't incur a wash sale. I go into wash sales in one of my other videos, but basically they're a way that the IRS prevents us from taking losses on our taxes should we trade in and out of stocks from a loss within 30 days. So that's obviously something we would want to avoid at any cost. Not to worry, I've got the strategies looking at multiple different stocks. So when we can't trade one for 30 days, we'll just trade another. All right, here we go. We got another signal generated. We've got a long entry for QQQ. And now I feel really good about this, especially because we already had a long triggered for SPY. So it's kind of just like the gift that keeps on giving. I believe that when SPY does well, typically QQQ is going to do well as well. So we look at this, and because I feel so confident in this signal, I've won with this signal so many times before. I think I'm okay with something that's going to expire in a few days here. Trying to think, I can go far out. We can also add this to our watch list to see what it would have done had we chosen a longer expiration. I think I'm going to go with a closer expiration in this case. So I just want to verify that it's not going to be a wash sale for me to buy into this QQQ call. And sure enough, I've only made profit off of this call in the past month. So with my buying power available, we've got our watch list up. I could just go ahead and put in a small limit here. And likely I'll hit. So going back to 12.7, that gives us quite a bit amount of time. But then again, I can actually see that the average hold time is 6 to 7 hours. So this is a signal that I can actually hold for a shorter amount of time. So that in mind, why not just give myself till Monday, the 28th? So I'm looking around and I see the 294 call around that 40 range. I'll be able to buy a contract at that price around 35. And I should be good to go. But actually, since I'm feeling so confident in this indicator, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to make 2 of these contracts because that'll still be just slightly above our 5% max that we want. It'll be 7%. There we go. All right, we'll see how it turns out. Okay, here we are a few hours later. We could see that our calls are doing us well right now. We see our QQQ call just peaked, but it was doing extremely well. Now it's dropped back to near where we bought it at. And we can see that our SPY call is still dominating.